I'll be honest with you, this is my favourite part of the show, is when we get to talk about the movies that are on telly, on
Freeview.
Because it's free. It doesn't cost me anything. That's what it is. We get to talk about the great movies that are appearing on TV for the next 7 days. On Freeview only, because we're the great equaliser. We like to make sure everyone has access to it. Anyone can pay for Sky Cinema, but what do you get for your TV licence money? That's what we care about.
Yeah. And there's a good selection this week. It's a good selection. Not as Christmassy as I thought.
No, we've not got there yet, have we? I think that might be next week. When that starts.
Maybe.
So let's start then. Saturday night, and I was a big fan of this movie. And this was Oscar nominated. I think it should have potentially netted a Best Actor Oscar for Bryan Cranston. BBC Two, 11:30 on Saturday night. Maybe want to set the Sky Plus for the Freeview recorder, whatever you have. It is Trumbo from is that 2016, 2017?
2015.
My God, I remember. This was my first ever awards screening that I went to. So Bryan Cranston plays Dalton Trumbo, writer of some of the biggest movies of the 50s and 60s, who was famously sandbagged and blacklisted by the House Un-American Activities Committee. Outed as a communist, told to name names, couldn't get work to save his life until he stumbled upon a new plan, which was, do you know what, why don't I just do it, not put my name on it, do it in secret, and I'll write all the best movies. And of course, the legend then became that all these great movies started to come out, and then we get nominated for and winning Oscars, but nobody knew they were coming from the same guy who could not be named.
I'm doing a new picture, and I just got the script.
Sure. There must be 7 hours of entertainment there.
Not a single page is entertaining. But there's a good story in there, somewhere, about one man who tried to take on the whole world.
Well, you've got me so far.
He was a slave who led a revolt against the Roman Empire.
And what's the title?
Spartacus.
It looks like, from the poster for this, it looks like Capote.
Well, it looks like that, and there is sort of element to it. But here's the interesting thing about this. I mean, so from our clip, which is Kirk Douglas, pitching Spartacus to him, getting him to rewrite Spartacus into what we now know as the masterpiece. According to Kirk Douglas's own biography, which I have sat and read cover to cover about 6 times, that is legitimately almost word for word how that conversation went. I can't remember who it is that's playing Kirk Douglas, by the way, but he's got it to a T. Bryan Cranston is amazing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on fine Bryan Cranston-y form. The film doesn't shy away from the nastier aspects of Trumbo, some of his more workaholic tendencies. There's a great supporting cast in there. You've got Alan Tudyk as well, and also I forget his name from Jag, who plays a really great interpretation of John Wayne. And this film as well doesn't shy away from painting John Wayne as the draft-dodging, sandbagging villain that he actually was.
Really?
Yeah. Also, Helen Mirren.
Yes.
In there, which a tremendous role for her. Can't think she was born to play. So that's Saturday night for you. Over to Sunday, Ms. Perfect. What you got for me?
I almost feel like you can't even have a movie on TV in a week without Arnie being in it.
No,
exactly.
No.
And this week we've got Commando.
Oh, I love Commando.
I love the waistcoat jacket that he wears in this with no shirt underneath. It makes me laugh every single time.
Oh no, I'm all about that forest green, no collar, rolled up sleeve shirt that he goes through most of the movie for no apparent reason. When he's carrying logs and putting ice cream on his daughter's face.
Yeah.
Do
you know what?
No.
The beauty of this movie is 1985, right? Yeah. The length of this movie is an hour and a half.
It is, isn't it?
And but doesn't that show you, right, nowadays everyone's going, I need to have 2.5 hours, No, you don't. You can have Genius in an hour and a half.
Nowadays, this would be a 13-episode Netflix with an entire prequel element. But do you know what? You can't talk about Commando without playing the single greatest line in the history of action cinema, which is, of course...
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
Arnie, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. I rest my case.
So when's that? That's film 4.
That is on film 4. That is good question. 9 o'clock on Sunday. Moving on, someone with a different set of skills to Arnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Liam Neeson, it's Taken. It's the same time slot. It's film 4, 9 o'clock on Monday night. And of course, we all...
Have they got an action week? Is that what it
It
is?
seems to be. Of course, this is, his daughter is kidnapped. He goes to France to get her
To find
back.
them and kill them.
Remember when we didn't know that Liam Neeson was capable of this?
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, we can't talk about this movie without playing the bit of dialogue.
Of course.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Good luck.
Best of luck, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I remember watching Taken 2 at a screening, and Liam Neeson, the brilliance about this, and I think it's the brilliance of things like, Olympus Has Fallen as well, is when the actors know that they don't need to take themselves so seriously.
Very much so, yeah.
And you get this, and there was an opener from Liam Neeson that was just like, watch this film, tweet about it on social media, tell them about your friends, or I will find you. I want you to...
This didn't even open in the US till about a year after we had it.
Crazy.
So the weird thing is, I think it was credited as not making as much money in the US as it could because it just existed on DVD legitimately everywhere else in the world at that point, which is a shame.
Well, don't worry about DVDs because they're so extinct now that you can just watch it on your telly box.
You're doing a great job of promoting our own DVD segment coming up. So.
I'm sorry, but come on, people. Let's keep up with the times. Anyway, Taken, that is Monday, film for 9 o'clock. Tuesday, okay. All right, we can get into Christmas
Let's
now.
start it,
All
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Let's start it with one of the greats. Something that was panned by the critics
Are you gonna
when it
gift
first
wrap
came
it
out.
for me?
I might gift wrap it for you. I might put a sprinkle of roses and lavender in it
Dip
as
it
well.
in yoghurt.
Dip it in yoghurt,
Yep.
yeah, all that kind of stuff. This is Love Actually, ITV2, 9 o'clock. Christmas has begun. Forget the Coca-Cola advert. This is the one for you.
How do you think the new record compares to your old classic stuff?
Oh, come on, Mikey. You know as well as I do, the record's crap. But wouldn't it be great if number one this Christmas wasn't some smug teenager, but an old ex-heroin addict searching for a comeback at any price? So if you believe in Father Christmas, children, like your Uncle Billy does, buy my festering turd of a record. And particularly enjoy the incredible crassness of the moment when we try to squeeze an extra syllable into the fourth line.
I think you're referring to If You Really Love Christmas.
Come on and let it snow. Ouch.
Marcus Brigstock, who we forget was in this movie, talking to Bill Nighy at BBC Watford.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, we forget that, don't we?
Definitely forget that. That is insane.
Yeah.
This film for me,
It's a classic.
It's a classic. I didn't. Do you know what? I remember watching it when it came out. I was at uni, and I didn't enjoy it first time round.
Really?
And then I watched it. I was like, I don't know what the fuss is about. Team America had come out the same year. That was much better. And then the following year, I watched it on DVD, and I just fell in love.
I went on a first date to see Love Actually.
Oh, really?
I dated that girl for 2 years. She was incredible. Anyway,
Do you know what? I've got a little
Nothing
bit
to
of
do with
piece of
the movie.
I've got a bit of trivia about this.
Go
So
on.
there was a book that was brought out, I think, which was kind of the script or the screenplay is brought out of it, and then at the back it talks about, it interviews the actors and says, what's your Christmas gift or who was your first crush and all that kind of stuff. And Keira Knightley puts one of my friends down as
Really?
her first love. Yeah.
one of my favourite moments in the whole of Love Actually is, "Now, I am Colin, god of sex."
Yeah. So many great one-liners. This is the thing, it stands the test of time. This is going to be one of those instant classics. They don't make them like they used to.
Well, it does also have that really problematic sequence with Andrew Lincoln on Keira Knightley's doorstep, which is now being sold as a T-shirt by Primark.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
fair enough.
Let's go to Wednesday then. This is one that I've been really looking forward to talking about very briefly.
Because you said no one ever talks talks about it.
No one ever talks about this. It should have been huge. So it is the movie that I would say kind of gave us an adult Haley Steinfeld as, sort of a bankable actress.
Yeah.
Although not that bankable because the movie didn't make that much money. It is, of course, The Edge of 17, which is showing on BBC Two 11:15 on Wednesday night. She is a neurotic teenager, basically the usual, overly introspective teen, played by Haley Steinfeld. She has a long-suffering teacher played by Woody Harrelson, who plays it just as Woody Harrelson, including, in a moment when she threatens to off herself, and he responds with, "That's so funny, I've just written my own suicide note."
I was actually just drafting my own suicide note just now. Dear everybody, as some of you know, I have 32 fleeting minutes of happiness per school day during lunch, which has been eaten up again and again by the same especially badly dressed student. And I finally thought, you know what? I would rather have the dark, empty nothingness. I really would. It sounds relaxing.
You are so gonna get fired when I actually do it.
Well, not for sure, but I can dream.
Do you know what? I have seen this.
Yeah, you remember this?
Yes.
Her best friend starts going out with her brother. That is
yeah.
the central crux
and
of
she
it.
just doesn't really know how to cope with it.
Yeah.
Yes, very funny performances. I think when you just said to me that who is it that plays her teacher? Is it
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson's
yeah.
the teacher. Yeah.
Yes. So when you mentioned that, and I was like, I think I understand this. And then I recognised the blue coat with the rainbow.
Exactly.
bits
Well, like
on
he
it.
says, the same horribly dressed student in the class. But that's the thing. Well, this came out around the same time as Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, so I think that got a bit of the attention that the folks
and actually,
pulled away.
I remember going to see Me, Earl and the Dying Girl and thinking, oh, is this going to... Because that's got like Olivia Cook or something in it.
Olivia Cook and
she's
Thomas
really
Mann,
good.
yeah.
But actually... It didn't. I was like, that's not gonna. That's
They
not gonna
don't
sink
overlap,
it.
do they?
No,
No.
but I was like, that doesn't quite work for the audience. Whereas this does.
If you've not seen The Edge of 17, absolutely check it. I think it's a really great movie.
Solid film, yeah.
So,
Thursday, yeah, Only the Brave. Talk to me about Only the Brave. Are you Only the Brave?
Did you get to see Only the Brave?
I don't think I did.
Right, I sat in the hospital club with Jamie East watching this for the press show, and we had a whale of a time. So this is from Joseph Kosinski, who gave us Tron Legacy and Oblivion.
I see. I see where you're going with this.
He's doing the Top Gun sequel next year.
This is one of your types of movies, isn't it?
This is absolutely one of my kinds of movie in which Josh Brolin is a smoke jumper. Well, he's not a smoke jumper. He's one of those. He leads a team where they clear the foliage in order to basically cut off forest fires.
Oh, it's extensive gardening. That's what you're watching on screen.
That's it. It's white knuckle gardening. That's exactly what it is. And it's absolutely badass. It's got Jennifer Connelly in it. It's got, believe it or not, it's got Miles Teller in it, and I actually don't mind him in it. It is a really, really good movie.
Am I allowed to ask?
Go on.
What's happened to Miles Teller?
Hopefully nothing.
The last thing I heard about him was that he got married, whereas I think back to him fondly for things like Whiplash, you know?
That's the only thing I think of.
No, and War Dogs I quite enjoyed as well.
War Dogs as well, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, all being well, someone just locked him in a room and forgot about
Well,
him.
I just wondered if he fell out with someone in Hollywood and hasn't really had any work since.
I seem to be the only critic he's fallen out with, so there's that.
I thought I should have recognised that tone.
So let's another movie that came and went.
Moving swiftly on.
Came and went. Nobody noticed. Bit of trivia for you. My family and I actually watched this for the first time the night before my sister's wedding in 2013.
Okay.
So it is The Big Wedding, which stars Robert De Niro, Susan Sarandon, Diane Keaton, Topher Grace, Ben Barnes, Katherine Heigl, and Robin Williams in one of his final turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a cast.
Hell of a cast. So the idea is Robert De Niro and Diane Keaton, at some point in their marriage, adopted Ben Barnes into the family.
Okay.
He is now getting married. I think he's Hispanic on his mother's side. His mother comes to visit, and she's very traditional. Robert De Niro is now divorced from Diane Keaton and has married her former best friend, Susan Sarandon. And the idea is they have to pretend to still be married, but that, of course, leaves one very big question from Susan Sarandon.
Just pretend to be married for the weekend. What's the big deal?
Where would you like me to start? Sweetie, there's just one little part that I'm stuck on. If those two are still married, then what does that make me?
My concubine?
This is going to go great.
Yeah, it's tons of fun. Even Katherine Heigl's fun in this. That's actually how surprising this movie is.
Do you know what? Since Suits, I've got a new appreciation for Katherine Heigl. I like
Really?
her. Yeah, I like Katherine Heigl. Yeah.
I can't stand the woman.
Okay.
Unless it's Bride of Chucky. I quite like her in Bride of Chucky.
Come on. You've just heard all the on-set kind of dramas that she causes.
No, it's because she always plays that same squealing, pain-in-the-ass character as exemplified by Knocked Up.
Well, she doesn't in Suits.
The whole thing is she's meant to be kind of unlikable, cold and frosty.
Oh,
and I feel
come
like she does
on.
that too well.
Leave me with my Suits love.
All right. So it's all about Harvey, and he should have been Batman. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. So should we just give you a quick rundown, just to recap on when these movies were on
Yeah,
this
okay.
week? Because we've got Saturday, Trumbo, BBC 2, 11:30 p.m. We've got Commando, Film 4, 9 p.m. on Sunday. We've got Monday's Taken, Film 4, 9 p.m. as well, so it might be an action week for Film 4.
Definitely.
Tuesday, Love Actually, ITV2, 9 o'clock. Wednesday, The Edge of 17, BBC 2, 11:15 p.m. Thursday, Only the Brave, Film 4, 6:20 p.m. And Friday, capping off your week with the big wedding, it is Paramount Channel at 9 o'clock in the evening.
Boom, that is a lineup.